7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Def Con 1.
Once upon a time, there was a little trader. He had power, the power to see through the virgins. He understood his mission, his goal, his journey. This little trader has his goal set on turning pennies into bag loads of nickels. Come and join this little trader's journey. Like, right now, we are about to be live. Seriously.
Welcome guys, here's FundedCoffee at TDT ThinkDifferentTrading with another London Open. The London Open will start in about 1 minute, to be exact 50 seconds. And yeah, we'll see what we can get. The market looks horrible, rangy and messy. The POL means pre-open London. It's also rather rangy. So what we need to look at is for a reversal. So again, don't try to trade breakouts during the first few minutes on the London Open. Try to trade reversals, not breakouts. And yeah, good morning Nourish. Nice to have you here. With the way we are trading, which we call SOS, Session Open Scalping, we have a good understanding of whether the London Open will range or not. And we know to a high degree here that we will range through the POL and of course just in general the market condition we see here to the left. So just to repeat myself, do not trade breakouts, trade reversals on spikes. Of course with confirmation and rejections. Looking at divergence on the other indices. And using basic price action. Right now all 4 indices are doing the same thing. We don't have any real divergence yet. We are spiking kinda down here, going below the POL. It might be some sort of trade which you could trade, but again, I would like to trade reversals, no breakouts. It's very important during London Open to really stay calm, especially when the market is in such a condition, because you will likely see during London Open big bars, especially on the 1 minute chart of course, which really tempt you to take a trade in that direction, because just we people as traders, we like big bars. When we see big candles we want to go in, FOMO is happening, we want not to miss out on any trade, on the big move. So we need to be very careful of that, because we don't want to trade in the direction of the big candle. We want to trade away from that big candle, trade a reversal in that type of market condition. As you could see here, probably many people took a break here, took a sell right here when it broke, and then it reversed. What we would like to see is some type of attempt to break out and see a top of the range here, some type of rejection, and then we would take a reversal trade. Till now we don't see any movement at all, so we have to wait. Always remember, you don't have to take a trade. Having no trade is also a position, and we as a trader, we always need to wait for the best setups and best opportunity. It's better to just stay patient, wait for the proper setups instead of just trying to take something to force any trade. Sounds good, Nourish, you're trying to flip an account. As you can see, the market is not really doing anything right now, so we have to wait. We see a slight divergence on the DAX overall, with a higher time frame here. We are ranging on the other indices, but the DAX kind of moving up here, so it's kind of stronger than the other indices, but nothing that we can now work with right now. We're slowly breaking here below the POL on the Dow. So it seems like the Dow is trying to be the leading indice right now. As you can see, the Dow is still on the London Open. The SPY is between London Open and the POL. The NAS is also between London Open and the POL, and the Dow is breaking below the POL, which is a sign that the Dow may try to lead for shorts, at least for the short term. And we need to wait that the other indices may try to follow the Dow or not. So what we need to look for, especially right now, is what the Dow does, so we get maybe a better idea what we could do on the other indices. Again, with my trading, I'm looking for the indices that is leading, and then we wait for the other indices to either follow or to be the latest person to follow, and then we trade the following one or the latest one. You can kind of see it as the leading one is your higher time frame bias, the following one is your secondary time frame that confirms the trend, and then your third indice is your last time frame where you enter. That may simplify it for some people. Through the divergence we can, to a high degree, understand the momentum of the market, and understanding the momentum gives us the great opportunity to take trades with high probability chance of moving in our direction, and then we can put the trade, for example, to break even, or even take profits exactly on after the momentum slows down. The edge is usually to get the momentum to a high probability for the next 1 or 2 1-minute candles, and usually then we have already, depending on the size of the candle of course, about 1 to 2% already in profits just on the high probability momentum break, and then we can decide ourselves, do we want to hold the trade or do we want to go out of the trade, which depends again on the market condition and the divergence which we see on the other indices. Now we see the DAX moving up, which might indicate that the DAX is currently leading while the other indices are still staying low. So we don't know for sure if the DAX is leading. We only get the confirmation that the DAX is leading once the other indices also start to move up and go above the London Open. For example, right now Again, the DAX is leading. Who is maybe potentially following? The NAS. The NAS is potentially following as it's the closest to the London Open right now. So the moment we break here above the London Open on the NAS, we have a somewhat confirmation that the NAS wants to follow the DAX. Now we see all other indices also trying to follow up on the move, so we are currently somewhat synergized. That's why we see the big move upwards above the London Open, because all 4 indices are in sync with each other. The moment all 4 indices are in sync with each other, you will see a momentum break, which we see right now, beautifully. Of course, again, the market is ranging, so it's very difficult to take any momentum break here, and you don't really want to take any momentum breaks. If anything, if you see the indices going higher, we might want to take a reversal trade if we get the opportunity. But just talking about in theory what we want to see by trading divergence. As you could tell, the moment I said that the DAX is leading and the NAS is following, we saw a big momentum push here on that one candle. And that's exactly what we want to trade through SOS. That type of momentum candles. Why? Because we have the opportunity. Let's assume we took a long here because we identified the momentum is to the upside. We have now the big break and we could just easily put the trade to break even and let the trade run. This way we can have a high probability that we can at least put our trade to break even and not take any losses. Of course, that also means you might take many break-even trades till you get a big runner. But again, break-even is a great thing. I love break-evens. Break-evens are better than losses. Break-even means you're able to survive long enough to get your big winners. And of course, if you took a long here, you could also already take profit and be 1 or 2% in green here, depending on your stop loss, of course. Now again, many would probably take a long here on that candle, being all excited that we take a breakout, maybe for the big long. But as SOS traders, we know better. As I said already before the London even opened, we don't want to take any trades as a breakout trade. If anything, we want to look for a reversal trade. If you're a very quick scalper, you could have even taken a trade right here on that big bar for a short side trade, just to take that tiny reversal here, which you will see here. But you know, I prefer to wait for a proper setup. But now there's again, the DAX is still somewhat leading here, being above the London Open, and for now staying above the London Open. We have the other 3 indices just breaking below the London Open now. So we could have taken a potential trade here on the DAX, even though it was leading at the time. It might have changed now through the other indices, showing us a downward momentum. But for me a bit too risky. But as you can see, even in that tight range, you can to a high degree understand where we go on the next 1 minute bar, just looking at the 4 indices. And trying to find the time when all 4 indices are in sync with each other. As you can see now again, we get a big push here the moment the DAX also decided to go down. but it can of course always change at any time. The DAX might now reject here on London Open and close above London Open, and then we see also a rejection on the other indices, but we don't know for sure yet. Why the short would have been also a rather good trade to take is because we are on the NAS here, for example, on the top of the range, and we saw the divergence long on the DAX here, so it would have been a nice little short which we could have taken here, but again, for me it's too risky to take. I would have liked just one or two more big candle pushes here on the NAS or on the other indices as well to take a reversal trade, just like how I did here, but sadly we couldn't get it. Now with our indicator we can also see on the higher time frame the divergence from the indices. We see that none of the other indices besides the Dow have a down arrow right now, so it means that the Dow is the weakest currently. We also see that the NAS is almost changing right now and turning bearish. We see the NAS just still being we see the DAX still being strong here, looking at the moving average, and the SPY is just also right there, almost flipping bearish. So that means we basically have a fight between the Dow and the DAX currently. The Dow wants to be the leading indice for shorts, and the DAX wants to be the leading indice for long. So that's also another problem that we have, why we can't really move here currently. Because the indices are fighting against each other, and they're not in sync. And as I've already told before, only once the indices are in sync, we will see some momentum push on either side. Till we don't get that, we also don't get any movement here. And that's the power of the divergence reading and SOS scalping. For now, the Dow seems to be able to stay below the POL, the pre-open London session. If you want to know more about it, it's sadly in the mentorship available, not here. You just need to know it's a very important level, which is 1 hour before the London Open, and we might reject from here for some type of confirmation for maybe more downside. But we also again need the other indices to also follow along and confirm the move down to the downside. Till we can't get any confirmation, any indice that follows the Dow up, we can't take any trade. And of course, same for the long. If your bias is, for example, long, you would need to pay attention especially to the DAX, how it's moving, and then look at the other 3 indices to maybe give you some type of confirmation. For example, going above the London Open. Right now it seems like we will just stay in that super tight range here and not do anything really. Now the market is again, at least for now, in sync, so we will see a bigger push to the upside. And now we have to see if we can maybe get just a bit more of a push, and then we could look for a reversal. For reversal setups, we can also take advantage of our template which we have here, which is also freely available, just looking a bit differently with the swing trading setup. I've just changed a bit so it's better for scalping and I can see the price action better. And as you can see, we're again somewhat rejecting here. It's very difficult for the market to move currently. This is a very good market to show you an example on when not to take a trade. Here, for example, again, people would have maybe tried to take a breakout here one more time after that candle close here and take another loss. Same here on the long side. This market really crushes people that want to try and take a breakout on the 1 minute chart. For shorts, it would be really very interesting to see the DAX breaking below the London Open here. As you can see, it's the highest indice currently. So once the DAX breaks, it's very likely that we go down rather far here. And if you would like to take some type of breakout trade in that type of environment, you really need to wait till a 15-minute candle closes, for example, below here, below the support, and then take just small scalps on the 1 minute chart. You really don't want to be in a trade for a long time here. You just want to take your profits and just run away fast. This market is not in a condition where you want to hold trades. And yeah, as I said already on the Telegram chat, hope you guys took your pillows with you, because this market is very slow. The DAX seems like it's slowly starting to break here. But now again rejecting on London Open. You can see how this level is very important for the market here. as you might notice, even so we are ranging, we are slowly but surely going towards the downside here, looking at the DAX getting weaker, not being able to properly reject anymore in the London Open, at least for now. And we also see all the other indices not really willing to go up here by a lot, which might indicate that we go on the short side later on, after the London Open is basically done. Just for people that might want to trade later on, my personal bias would be on the short side, and that's where I would look for if I were to trade after the London Open. Again, you see here now on the DAX, on the 50-minute time frame, nicely rejecting here, going bearish, which is a very good indication that we might go lower on the other indices as well, since they're already weaker to begin with. So once the DAX finally breaks, we will get a bigger potential push, maybe to the bottom of the range here on the other indices. Now we are starting to fall. As I said, we see now a potential entry signal on all indices. Sorry, it's early. And we see also the divergence here through the signals. The DAX is now actually being weaker than the other indices. As you notice here, we got a signal, a bearish signal here on the DAX, way earlier than we got it here on the other indices. So this is also a good sign that we might go lower here, now that the DAX actually gets weaker. The Dow is still overall the weakest, as we are below the POL compared to all the other indices. But we are slowly but surely breaking. The NAS is now a bit of doing nothing. It can't decide where to go. The SPY is also slowly going down, which is also a nice indication that we might go lower here. But again, we are overall still ranging. There's not a lot of momentum going on here in the market. So make sure that you realize that before taking any trades, as it's very difficult to take here continuation trade to the downside, even so our bias should be by now short. We might get some weird action till we go down. So yeah guys, I don't think I will keep you guys longer here and see me do nothing as the market is ranging. But currently, again, we're slowly coming down here, as I said way earlier already, that we might go down here thanks to the divergence. But yeah, the bias is to the downside, and good luck trading if you're still trading that. And I will see you in the Telegram chat. Thanks for joining. Oh, big spike. Thanks for joining, guys. And I might take a short later on here on some type of retest. Anyway, bye bye, guys. Maybe you catch a short here with my help. And see ya.